Welcome back to the channel, lads and ladies, and as is becoming a custom here, a big ol' Hizashiburi desu. It's been a while, and mainly that just comes down to the fact that I haven't been whipping out the camcorder so often. Just living life, man. I got really sick for like a week, and I'm just coming off of that. But we've been good, and everything's been going well. And one of my rabbits died. An old moo old man, girl, woman rabbit finally passed in her sleep peacefully. And she was buried in my backyard. Don't tell the HOA or I'll stab you in the clavicle. Anyway, this is not the new Monster Hunter game, but I was looking at the new Monster Hunter game and it looked pretty good. But it also looked like one of those kind of wait and see games because it's not really well optimized on the PC yet, and knowing Capcom, they will improve the game quite a bit, and I expect it to get a lot of love. It looks like it's already selling super well, which is great. And this game here was just such a fantastic game. Monster Hunter World and the Iceborne expansion content. I pretty much completed Monster Hunter World on the PS4, but I never got into Iceborne, and I took that as an excuse to pick up the Monster Hunter World and Iceborne bundle on PC back when it was on heavy discount. And what else did I want to say? I'm getting my ass thoroughly handed to me by the first real tough fight in this game against this Rathalos, and I'm gonna be playing like a total noob, idiot, cuck. But that's fine, you know, I'm just kind of... It was actually really thrilling to get my ass kicked like that. And, you know, normally you would just, you'd be dead by this point. But with the PC release, at least, of the Iceborne bundle, you also get this, this, like, overpowered equipment that helps you to get through the early stages of the game. And even that is not enough to save yourself from the results of your actions. But I'm taking like a third as much damage or less as you would normally take with like regular, not overpowered gear. So the onus on me to get good is not yet burning into my forehead, but it will. And overall, I felt like the progression in Monster Hunter was pretty fair. It was always a tough but fair game, and it really does get just polished with each new release as far as like the game mechanics. I've been playing since what was that one on the PSP? I played one of them on the PSP. I think it was it was like Unite 3 or something. I don't know. The nomenclature is tricky, and I'm not, you know, and I'm not a mega fan. I've just always enjoyed the concept of the games and playing them in a casual way, and that really translates well into the handheld systems. Did they end up having a game on the Vita? I really enjoyed the PS Vita. It's too bad it really didn't take off, but yeah, c'est la vie. Everybody was working on different things for a while there. I think that was when cell phone games started taking over, and then people realized that no, cell phone games are not going to replace the console market. But that's a story for another time, and for another expositor, if you will, because now the tides have turned a bit. Oh, never mind. Back to getting my ass kicked and revealing the female version of this armor is a little bit more drafty in the butticus area than the male version is. There's a V slit there that's a little bit sluttish, but you know, what can you do? I certainly don't want to be running around as a big hulking muscular stinking man. Much rather be a muscular stinking woman character, thank you very much. I've had the joy of watching my son interacting with his big sister, and the two of them are they're such a team. I call them the Joshua and Zoe show, and thus you don't have to guess at their names. But oh, this is cool. This is where we fought what's that electric snake thing? Anyway, cool fight, very cool fight. And it's just neat to be in the nest of a different monster fighting a different monster. It almost feels like we're philandering here, but anyway. Oh, a knockdown. Nice. That really helped to lift my spirits. And again, there's so much you can do. You've just seen me fighting like an idiot here. There are much better ways to use your abilities in this game, but look how cool they are. Like, look at this action RPG combat. And this is less than half the game. The combat is less than half the game in Monster Hunter, because a huge portion of your time is spent interacting with the world in a harvesting and crafting frenzy, in a land traversal adventure. And just look at these set pieces, just gorgeous. And if you could see my mini map there on the bottom left, like, this is classic Monster Hunter stage design. You know, you've got lanes and arenas, and that's pretty much it. But look at how well executed it is, and that's really what you get out of these mainline Capcom games that I've been a fan of for ages. The same guy who was involved with the old Dungeons and Dragons arcade games. He was one of the guys on that team, and then some of those people went off to make what is that? Dragon's Crown, which is just a really oddball game that has, again, amazing arcade style combat, action combat, very vividly depicted characters, and just gorgeous art that gets a little bit embarrassing sometimes. These artists are not spending a lot of time in the IRL developing relationships with the fair gender. They have shared their fantasy with us, and it is piquant and a bit unnerving at the same time. Memorable is the word. You kind of want degenerates making art for you, because they live in a world that has those bright, lurid colors that maybe you wouldn't put on the walls of your kindergarten, but they are memorable in a world where we're constantly distracting ourselves from the reality of death and the pointless cycles of life by the fantasy of our strange apparitions that we fill our minds with. And crazy people, strange people make good art and poor teachers. Anyway, I've just been enjoying this older game and realizing that I don't think video games have to go any further than this in terms of, like, mechanics. Look at the smoothness of this combat, and there is, you know, a weight to Monster Hunter combat, but it flows. The animations are gorgeous. I was playing I played a lot of Skyrim. I think I just rolled over 1,000 hours on that game, and I was just getting all the way like sick of it after only putting in another 100 hours or so. It's really depressing to just not find anything new in that game after 1,000 hours. But oh, good lord, the animations in Skyrim are bad. They're almost entirely very bad, to the point that just a couple of decent animations really stand out, and the rest are bad. But this game animations are good, and again, Capcom, they've just always been amazing at that. Their story, it's better to pretend that these games just don't have a story. It's not a story, it's a frame, right? It's a frame that you hang cool shit on. Instead of art, you have hooks and levers and louvers, and all of that just has neat, awesome, badass action combat and vivid visuals, and that's what you want out of a Capcom game. And then maybe there's a couple of things that stand out, and of course, all that is to say, Dragon's Dogma, maybe one of the best games I've ever played. Dragon's Dogma 2 really nailed it, I think, in terms of what makes Dragon's Dogma good. I was so happy to see that sequel. The only thing I wanted was more. It's clear that there could be more, and there was not. And I only got like 300 hours out of it, and then I was just all the way done with it. It's such a sad day, when you can only get 300, 150 hours out of one of these finely crafted games, and then all you want is more, and you don't get more, because what you really need to do, my friend, is to stop escaping from reality, and go outside and grow something, nurture something, pray for an opportunity to show kindness to someone. And I have yet to desire an opportunity to show kindness, and in that day lack an opportunity to show kindness, to do something good for someone. That's really, when you start getting angry about your lack of progress in a hobby, in a diversion, it's because you're trying to divert yourself from something that's more important, the real things in life, the deep, spiritually satisfying things in life. And regardless of how you feel about what's true about the spiritual world, it's just a way of describing things that are difficult to describe. And what is difficult to describe but is not difficult to observe is the benefit of kindness and goodness, perpetual fairness at the least, a love for equity in dealings, and a deep desire to go beyond that, to really show kindness, goodness, generosity, patience, trust, the desire for good for yourself and for others. And if you are not getting enough out of life, get more into that, and it'll be sorted. But now, gratitude, enjoyment. I'm very grateful to be enjoying this game. I've just been having a blast. I needed a little pick-me-up, my friends. I've always leaned on video games. That's why I get ranty about... You can see some of those numbers I was throwing up. That's a lot of video game playing. That's a lot of escaping the normal world. That's a lot of coping, because I have a lot of mental issues that I don't want to share with people. So I just I distract myself. I occupy myself and I'm fighting for my life again. I guess I can't really finish that thought because I'm also easily distracted or completely incapable of noticing distractions. You know, I'm one of those like lock-in, hyper-focus kind of people, or I'm just all over the place. I think that's called ADD. When it doesn't work for you, it's ADD. But how fucking cool was that? This is like, that was not scripted. That is a stage reaction that you can trigger by destroying a part of the stage, and then check it, 0 fall damage. I mean, how fucking cool is that? This game is just fucking cool, is basically what I'm telling you. This is one of the coolest games ever. And it is by no means like an original idea. The elements of this game were knocking around in Capcom for a long time and in the rest of the gaming world, and they came together in the form of Monster Hunter, and they came together not really well for a number of years, and Monster Hunter World just knocked it out of the park. This is more proof that I don't know if you would call this a AAA game. I would. This is proof that AAA can work. Because they can just make really, really good games, and they do it by building upon great ideas that have been done well in the past, and not throwing a big old duty wrench into the works, not trying to reinvent the wheel, as it were, but just refine. And this is not a perfect product. It's not a perfect game, and there's some problems. There's some Capcom scumminess too. With things like DLC, but it's not bad. It's still a game, and you're getting a great deal. And we'll see what the newest Monster Hunter game looks like. They made another one that I can't remember what, but it's more like the Monster Hunter for the Switch. It was really made for the Switch, and then of course it was ported to everything. But if you make a game for the Switch, Capcom does not go out of their way to optimize their game for the ports. Like, you gotta dig in a little bit to get this into the settings, to get this looking good on PC. And I think it looks pretty good on my PC. But anyway, I rambled. I wanted to talk more about like what I was actually doing here, but it was just a really satisfying, adrenaline-fueled fight, and you can see we just had to like chase that guy across the world, and that's Monster Hunter, baby. Catch you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.